at the Local Government Service Commission Multipurpose Hall. Also, the list of beneficiaries of the approved SAM has been pasted on the notice board of the Ministry of Information and Civic Orientation, the State Pension Bureau, and the Office of the Head of Service. He assured all workers, both serving and retired, of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola's commitment to always make their welfare the first priority in the entire, and that nothing will be allowed to obstruct all things essential to make them progress. The campaign council for the re-election of Governor Adegboyega Oyetola, the candidate of the All Progressives Congress for the July 16, 2022 governorship election in Osun State, has read out the campaign schedule for this week. In a statement by the Director General of the Campaign Council, Senator Ajibola Bashiru, the re-election campaign trail of Governor Oyetola would move to Ikirun in Ifelodun local government area tomorrow, where the governor and his entourage would be engaging with the party loyalists, supporters, and potential voters from across the council. Also, on Wednesday, the APC standard bearer and his entourage will storm Egbedore local government area, where they would be paying a royal homage to the traditional rulers across the council at Alawo's Palace, after which he and his entourage will move to the campaign venue, where they will be engaging the party's loyalists, supporters, and other electorates in the area. The statement further revealed that the campaign trail would then move to Ipenrido, the headquarters of Aktakumosa East local government, on Thursday, where Mr. Governor and his entourage would meet the traditional rulers across the council before moving to the campaign venue with the supporters. According to the statement, the governor will use the visit to further intimate the people of the various councils of the modest achievements his administration has recorded in the last 3.5 years vis-a-vis what the citizens and the state stand to benefit in a second term. Journalists watch from the sideline of the ruling All Progressives Congress holds its scheduled screening of the party's presidential aspirant behind closed door. The screening exercise is being held amid tight security at the Hilton Transcorp Hotel in Abuja ahead of the APC presidential convention slated for June 6. As of the time of reporting, it was gathered that former Minister of State for Education, Chukwuemeka Nwajuba, and a number of other undisclosed presidential aspirants had been screened. The exercise, which was earlier postponed penultimate week, was conducted by a 7-man presidential screening committee headed by a former national chairman of the party, Chief John Oyegun. The list of presidential aspirants to be screened include national leader of the party, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, among others. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar has met with Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike in Abuja. Atiku had defeated Wike at the party's presidential primary in Abuja. It was gathered that today's meeting was to reconcile the two party chieftains and give the PDP a robust outing in the 2023 presidential election against the ruling All Progressives Congress. The meeting was also attended by former Ekiti State Governor and PDP presidential aspirant Ayodele Fayoshi, amongst other PDP chieftains. Details of the meeting remained sketchy as of press time, but it was learned that Atiku is shopping for a southern running mate after his victory at the primary. Our presidential aspirant in Labour Party, Professor Pat Utomi, has stepped down for his rival Peter Obi in the race for the party's nomination as its candidate ahead of the 2023 general elections. Pat Utomi announced his decision today at the venue of the party's presidential primary in Asaba, Delta State capital. It will be recalled that Obi joined Labour Party a few days ago after resigning from the People's Democratic Party, where he was the running mate to Atiku Abubakar in the 2019 presidential election. The former Anambra State Governor will be Labour Party's presidential candidate in the 2023 general election. The national president of St. Charles Grammar School Old Boys Association, Mr. Charlie Rotimi Aluko says the body will continue to give back to the alma mater in view of the foundation laid for its former students to excel in life. Mr. Rotimi Aluko stated this at a press conference where he highlighted the program of activities for SCOBA 2022 Founders Day and 60th anniversary celebration of the school. Oluwatobiloba Odunuga has the details.
In his address at a press conference in commemoration of St. Charles Grammar School Old Boys Association SCOBA 2022 Founders Day and 60th anniversary celebration, SCOBA National President Charlie Rotimi Aluko maintained that the association advocacy for the school extends to infrastructure, academic performance, character development, financial support, teaching staff motivation, and academic progression to higher institutions as a support for their alma mater. The SCOBA National President, who was flanked by his Vice Engineer Ademola Fatola and the Principal St. Charles Grammar School Shogbo, Mrs. Bola Duroshomo, stated further that the Biennial Convention of SCOBA 2022 will be featuring the commissioning of the Technology Hub building done by the 1981 set in response to the need to prepare for the evolving technological future products of St. Charles Grammar School, Oshogbo. Charlie Aluko, in his response to how Old Boys Association is supporting the students in staying away from social vices that can destroy their future, he maintained that the association has put in place some clubs, including the Chess Club, Scrabble Club, and Ayolopo Club, among others for them. The SCOBA National President maintained that ill-trained children will always become nuisance in the society, urging parents to ensure proper moral upkeep of their words.
Are all directed at ensuring that we keep an eye and support for this ideal of producing complete or old students who are the ones that will be the flag bearers that will impact the world for better existence. By the time we launch the package of associations, clubs, and societies, where the students will be encouraged to join, 2, 3 or so, we'll have a much busier set of students, a more enlightened set of students that will find vices repugnant.
SCOBA 2022 week includes Founders Day and 60th anniversary celebration, symposium on education, soccer competition, game competitions, inauguration of parade clubs, and the planting of commemorative trees, among others. Oluwatobiloba Odunuga reporting for OSBC News.
The leading Pan-African real estate company, Adron Homes and Properties, is set to distribute 10 million naira worth of fuel to 3,500 Nigerians in commemoration of its 10th year anniversary. The company's Director General of Sales and Marketing, Mrs. Folashade Oloruntoba, said this while speaking at the company's head office in Lagos. Omotayo Adibodo has more.
Director General Sales and Marketing, Adron Homes and Property, Mrs. Folashade Oloruntoba, said the gesture is part of the activity to commemorate its 10-year anniversary in the real estate development company. She added that the company will be targeting several filling stations across 8 states, including Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Osun, Abuja, Nasarawa, Niger, and Ekiti, starting from tomorrow. Mrs. Oloruntoba emphasized that everyone needs to take advantage of the company's affordable housing scheme with a flexible payment plan that will span across 24 to 36 months payment duration. She maintained that the purpose of the program is to appreciate the customers and to welcome more prospective customers. The company reiterated that the 10th anniversary will be a year-long event, and this is one of the numerous give-back the company will be embarking on in appreciation of its customers and giving back to the society.
Home started in 2012, and over the years, like my boss said, we've been known for flexible payment plans. We've been known for micro-payment schemes. In fact, that's what made us, that was what paved the way for us, because we don't make it a burden for you to own your properties. So many people can attest to it that they are now landlords. We have so many living landlords. We have so many future landlords. And as a way to give back, 10 years, we want to give out free fuel, and that's why we're running this campaign. It's to appreciate our esteemed customers. It is also to welcome on board our prospective customers.
It will be recalled that the real estate company clocked 10 years in the real estate business and has so far bridged the gap of affordable housing among the Nigerian citizens. Omotayo Adibodun, OSBC News.
Christians have been enjoined to always humble themselves and be diligent in their services to God and humanity. The Diocesan Bishop of St. Michael African Church, Ekwende Parish, Right Reverend Ezekiel Oduleke, gave the charge at the ordination and installation ceremony for some members of the church. Oluwatobiloba Odunoga has the details.
Ceremony of St. Michael African Church, Ekwende chiefs who have been conferred with a Christian chieftaincy title are the attendants of people from far and near, including the Muslim brothers and sisters and the Elende of Ekwende, Oba Abdul Rauf Ajiboye, among others. In his sermon, the Diocesan Bishop of St. Michael African Church, Ekwende, Right Reverend Ezekiel Oduleke, enjoined those who have been conferred a Christian chieftaincy title to be humble and be diligent in their services to God and humanity. The Diocesan Bishop maintained that obtaining a Christian chieftaincy title is a great task, stressing that they should be submissive to God and also learn the act of giving.
They should be submissive. The Lord will speak to them. The Lord will direct their way, and they will never be a failure.
In his remarks, the Elende of Ekwende, Oba Abdul Rauf Ajiboye, enjoined all who have been conferred a Christian chieftaincy title to always show love to one another as well as the members of the church. The monarch stated further that the ordained chiefs should not see themselves above the church, priest and servant of the Lord. In his remarks, Chief Isaac Ogunkeye, who have been conferred as the Ashiwaju Okunrin Ijo, maintained that the church have seen their services to God and humanity, and now that they've been conferred a Christian chieftaincy title, they will not relent in their services for the glory of God.
What is happening today is a call to service. The church is expecting much from every one of us. I pray that God will give us the enablement, the power to fulfill all our expectations to the church.
The installation ceremony climaxed with thanksgiving of all Christian chiefs, including Chief Paul Olawura Ojo as the Baba Ijo, Chief Mary Popola as the Iya Ijo, Chief Isaac Ogunkeye as the Ashiwaju Okunrin Ijo, Chief Bolanle Ogunkeye as the Ashiwaju Obinrin Ijo, and Honorable Ayeni Agbola as Are Onigbagbo, among others. Oluwatobiloba Odunoga reporting for OSBC News.
Wisdom has been identified as one of the most important qualities anyone that wishes to live a meaningful life must acquire. The Osogbo Conference Pastor, New Covenant Church, Reverend Olufunsho Ajibode, stated this at the retirement and birthday Thanksgiving program for Mrs. Adiola Shitu Alamu. OSBC News reporter Oluchi Amoda completes the story.
It was the gathering of family, friends, and well-wishers at the Thanksgiving program of Mrs. Adiola Shitu Alamu, who bows out of public service and celebrated her 60th birthday. Secretary to the State Government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji, and his wife were on ground to felicitate the Shitu Alamu family on the joyous occasion. In his message, one of the officiating ministers, Reverend Olufunsho Ajibode, said, "Wisdom is needed by anyone who wants to live a meaningful life." According to the Osogbo Conference Pastor of New Covenant Church, acquiring wisdom entails loving God, and no one can claim to love God without loving fellow human beings.
Teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. And so it's important that while we are here on earth, we acquire wisdom that is needed to live successfully and meaningful.
The birthday girl, flanked by her husband, Mr. Smollett Shitu Alamu, and little birthday mate, Dorcas, who clocked 10, as well as families, friends, and well-wishers, joined in thanking God for his grace upon the life of the celebrant. The celebration moved to the reception, where guests were treated to sumptuous meals. In their goodwill messages, dignitaries including Mr. Adilani Adenriola, Professor Mrs. Alexandra Owolabi, Mr. Kayode Adedire, Prince Femi Adefila, Mr. Oyeshuku Adelu, among others, described the celebrant as a woman of virtue who spreads love to everyone that comes her way. The event climaxed with the cutting of the birthday cake by Mrs. Adiola Shitu Alamu and her birthday mate, Little Miss Dorcas. Miss Adiola Shitu Alamu was born on the 29th of May, 1962, and retires as the head of the Department of Arts at Islahuddin Grammar School, Okeoniti, Osogbo. Oluchi Amuda, OSBC News.
Nigerian broadband penetration increased from 38.72 million to 80.68 million this year. It intends to effectively cover 90% of the population of 25 mega broadband penetration in rural areas. Mabel Stephen has the details of this and more on the business news.
Grown by more than 100% in 4 years. Report says data from the Nigerian Communication Commission portal revealed that broadband penetration increased from 38.72 million in March 2018 to 80.68 million this year. The broadband plan intends to effectively cover 90% of the population, delivering 25 mega broadband penetration systems in urban areas and 10 in rural areas. The internet service in the nation was on 2G and 4G. The services in the country are currently provided on 2G, 3G, and increasingly 4G mobile networks. Nigeria Telecommunications disclosed that they invested a combined 208.56 billion naira in fourth-generation network and others in the first quarter this year. Meanwhile, the Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeniyi Adebayo, urged Nigerians to patronize made-in-Nigerian goods, adding that the federal government had implemented several policies and programs through the ministry repositioned as the engine room for wealth creation, economic transformation and development in the country last year. Report says foreign trade statistics of the National Bureau of Statistics in Nigeria spent 1.22 trillion on consumer goods imports last year. This was above 100% increase from the 584.41 billion naira spent on importing consumer goods in 2018, with the consumer goods imported in the country are categorized into durable, semi-durable, and non-durable. According to a financial report released this year, Nigeria has a rapidly growing appetite for imported goods, among other things, and it has created a large demand for the United States dollar while supply demands poor, and this factor contributes to the continuous depreciation of naira against the dollar. However, the lingering foreign exchange and power sector crises have contributed to the shutdown of over 50 Nigerian manufacturing companies in the last 5 years. The development has led to massive job losses in the manufacturing industry, among other sectors. Mabel Stephen, OSBC News.
You are welcome to our sports segment. Real Madrid were crowned champions of the Europe for the 14th time after beating Liverpool 1-0 at the Stade de France. An 8th successive UEFA Champions League final victory means the Spaniards have won Europe's premier competition twice, as many times as any other club. Our sports crew captured the mood of sports lovers in Osogbo prior to the match and after the match. Details are now presented from our studios.
Madrid. I support Real Madrid to win the trophy.
I'm actually rooting for Real Madrid.
I'm rooting for Liverpool.
Liverpool suffered Champions League outbreak on a chaotic night in Paris as Vinicius Junior's second half goal clinched the trophy for Real Madrid for the 14th time in their history. Jurgen Klopp's side were hoping to avenge their 2018 Champions League final defeat to the Spanish Giants in Kiev, but they could not find a leveler after going down 1-0 when Vinicius ghosted in at the far post to convert Federico Valverde's low cross. Here are some of the reactions from sports fans across different viewing centers in Osogbo, the state capital.
Allah Madrid, God give us this day, and I know that they are going to end up victorious at the end of the match.
What happened this night is not a miracle. For the past almost a decade, Madrid has never lost in the final.
Well, I'm very happy in the middle because Scott was supporting Liverpool. Real Madrid win, and they won. I love it. I'm so happy.
Liverpool were bidding to win the competition for the 7th time, but the defeat ensured they missed out on a treble, having won the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup earlier this season. While Madrid, their run to the final, characterized by a series of extraordinary comebacks, celebrates yet another European triumph. Omotayo Adebodun, OSBC News.
While on the foreign scene, Despite horrible weather and the mountainous terrain that have made rescue efforts difficult, 20 bodies have been discovered from the plane crash in northern Nepal. Oluwatomisin Oyeyemi has the details of this and more.
In Nepal have so far recovered 20 bodies from the crash site of a small plane carrying 22 people. The wreckage of the plane, operated by Nepali carrier Tara Air, was recovered in Mustang district in northern Nepal. The country's Civil Aviation Authority spokesman, Doj Chandra Laokran, said 20 dead bodies have been found and the body of an additional person has been located. He further added that rescuers are trying to retrieve it from a difficult mountain terrain while searching for a missing individual at the crash site. Meanwhile, European Commission President to an agreement on a sixth package of sanctions, including a potential ban on Russian oil imports. She said so ahead of a summit of the 22 EU leaders. The EU requires the approval of all member states to introduce the sanctions, despite announcing them nearly a month ago. Elsewhere, Ivory Coast authorities are building a wall for endangered urban park concerned about illegal logging and pollution in Banco National Park in Ivory Coast's commercial capital, Abidjan. The authorities are erecting the concrete perimeter wall that they hope will preserve its distinctive ecosystem as Banco is threatened by pressures from Abidjan's rapid growth. Adama Tondosama, Director General of the Ivorian Office of Parks and Reserves, has said a lot of the boundary has already been whittled away to build urban lots. Oluwatomisin Oyeyemi, OSBC News.
And that ends the major reports on OSBC TV. It was edited by Kayode Adebayo. I am Olubumi Ajiboye Agbola. Thank you for watching and good night.
Startime ti dé pẹ̀lú eré alárinrin white flower